Building a mini ITX system is like your mum on a night out, expensive and annoying. The case alone can cost nearly $200, then you have to contend with expensive SFX power supplies, limited cooling support and a frustrating build experience. Not anymore. Cooler Master just slashed the price of its NR200P Max, and suddenly ITX is actually affordable to normal people. But it's not that simple. You will want to stay tuned because some small adjustments to your build can drop CPU temperatures by up to 20 degrees. So stay with me while I show you the features, build process, pros, cons, everything in the NR200P Max.
I was a rockin' and a rollin' down AM far away when a little birdie told me about this sweet little case. I was ducking and a diving through the ITX flames when a cool gust of air hit me square in the face. You think that you're tiny, but I hard disagree. You think that you're spacious, but there's nothing to see. You think that you're funny, but I think you're a fool. They call me Cooler Master because I'm effortlessly cool. I was slipping and a sliding down SFF way. Opti and Devin said to me, deal on NR200P. I was searching and a scheming through Amazon away. Bezos put a twink in my eye, NR200P Max for only $169. You think that you're tiny, but I hard disagree. You think that you're spacious, but there's nothing to see. You think that you're funny, but I think you're a fool. They call me Cooler Master because I'm effortlessly cool. Disagree. Think that you're spacious, but there's nothing to see. You think that you're funny, but I think you're a fool. They call me Cooler Master because I'm effortlessly cool. They call me cool. Because I'm effortlessly cool.
I am blown away by the value on offer here. £170 for a case, 280mm AIO and an 850 watt gold power supply is a bonkers deal, especially when you consider the Fractal Terra is £175 on its own. Before we go any further in this video, a very important tip for building in this case. Otherwise, your temperatures will be terrible. Before you build in the NR200P Max, you must take out the AIO fans and flip them to intake rather than exhaust. And of course, you will need two basement slim fans set to exhaust on the bottom, ideally with a fan grill on them to prevent cables getting in there. In my testing, this change improved CPU max temperatures by 8 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely crazy. But the main benefit was the significant reduction in noise. The reason this works is that in the standard exhaust setup at the top AIO, all the hot air from the GPU is in the case and then pulled up through the radiator through the CPU cooler. Whereas when you set those top fans to intake, the radiator is always going to be getting fresh air. Any seasoned PC builder will tell you that nowadays CPUs get a lot hotter than GPUs, so where possible CPU cooling should be prioritised. This will and did cause the GPU to be a bit hotter, but it's still nowhere near thermal throttling territory. I would prefer a CPU weighted cooling setup myself, but you do you at the end of the day. Despite the optimization, CPU temperatures were not ideal, but that's just what the 9800X3D does. Whatever cooling, whatever case setup I put it in, it always ends up hitting the high 80s during the Prime 95 torture test. But during games, it will be chilling just fine. And don't forget, we've got a beefy GPU in there kicking off heat as well. For your sanity, you should go into your BIOS, set your TJ Max to 75 degrees C and slap on a -20 curve optimizer. This will reduce the CPU temperatures and power usage a lot without any noticeable impact on your gaming performance, not to mention the significant reduction in noise. The CPU performance will be the same or better because in gaming you're likely to have never hit that 75 degrees mark anyway, so you're not going to throttle, and the curve optimizer can drag out a little bit more performance per watt. But the second benefit is that with the 75C TJ Max, like I said, your PC is not going to sound like a screaming banshee when Warzone or Fortnite are preloading shaders. Okay, so review time. I created this scoring rubric on screen to formalize my reviews, so let's briefly go through each category, score it appropriately, and then we can work out whether it's a good case for you or not. For aesthetics, I give it 1 out of 3. It's not a showstopper, but it's not butt ugly either. The glass panel looks a lot nicer than the ventilated panel, particularly if you fill it with a chunky GPU. Overall, it's sleek, I just find it a bit boring. Build quality gets full marks, 3 out of 3. The materials are high quality, the mechanics and engineering are excellent, it was completely faultless and I could not see any issues with it at all. Compatibility gets 3 out of 3 when adjusted to SFF standards. You can fit high-end systems and adequate cooling with good clearances inside this case. Some of the larger 5090s may not fit, but that is part and parcel of small form factor builds. You should always check the clearances yourself before building. Cooling, 2 out of 3. That ability to have a 280mm liquid cooler makes all the difference. No case in the world is going to keep a 9800X3D cool when running Prime 95 stress test. But as you can see, the temperatures in game were absolutely excellent and not an issue at all. It gets 2 out of 3 rather than 3 because the GPU temperatures were a bit higher than normal, though that will only have a very tiny impact on performance, if any at all. Ease of building, 2 out of 3 when adjusted for ITX standards. It is nice to have the cooler and PSU pre-installed, but I actually had to adjust both of them anyway. I had to take out the PSU to change the modular cables, and I had to flip the fans on the liquid cooler to make the temperatures better, which took away some of that ease of building factor. Other than that, it is very easy to reach into the case and get to what you need to. So unfortunately, it is an implementation problem that stopped it getting 3 out of 3 rather than the actual physical design. Price. 3 out of 3. Nothing comes remotely close to this in terms of value at £170. I would say that even £225 would be a great price for what you're getting. If we say that an 850 watt gold PSU is normally 100 quid, 280mm liquid cooler about 55 quid, then it makes the case basically free. So that makes the overall score 14 out of 18, making it a decent choice for those that want to go ITX without overspending. It just needs Fractal or NZXT to come in, zhuzh it up with a bit of design pizzazz to make it perfect. It needs a little bit of zing to make it truly special aesthetically. So conclusion time. The NR200P Max at £170 is an absolute steal and is by far the best deal in ITX computing. Nothing even comes close, and at this price it will bring in buyers who would otherwise have been priced out of the ITX market. You can fit entry-level and high-end systems in here, whatever you want, so it could work for basically anyone. So yes, I would recommend the NR200P Max, but I would never use it for my own build. That's just because I don't like the look of it and I need my PC to look nice. Call me flawed, call me shallow, whatever. To finish up, I want to give you something for free. I have a newsletter which gives out free PC building tips and tricks. just sign up via the link below, no strings attached whatsoever. Oh, and YouTube would love it if you watch more of my videos.